Analyze and evaluate the ecological issues that have been considered in sourcing and extracting raw materials to make products. Give examples to support your answer. So, ecological issues. So, ecological means stuff in the environment to do with nature. We want to consider when sourcing and extracting. So, again, you could say 8 points, but you should be giving examples. So, you should give one reason and then your explanation for the reason. So I'm not going to go and write all this down, but I'll speak about each at certain points. So you could say drilling for oil in the sea can cause spillages that can damage wildlife, marine wildlife. So that's 1 point. And then give an example. So you could give the example of a point in Alaska when a tanker got hit and it spilled oil. It took well over 10 years to clean up everything. So they cleaned it up, but it took 10 years and it just kept on damaging the environment, and it's still being damaged today. So you can mention about the marine life reducing in population because the fish is dying and so on. So that should get you a mark. You can talk about the event horizon, the incident of the oil rig that caught on fire and it took ages to put out the fire, but again, it's spilling oil into the sea. So that's another issue. We can move on to mining. So what do we extract from mining? So all metals are extracted from mining, and then you can talk about it scarring the landscape when mining. So the natural habitats are being destroyed. We can also talk about trees being cut down. So again, obviously felling, the cutting down of trees, also means that we're cutting down the trees. It's destroying the habitats for a little bit. We can also talk about it reducing the amount of oxygen that's being given away, or the amount of carbon dioxide that is being absorbed through the trees. So these are all the points that you could mention. You could, if you're talking about farming, or in the sense of wool in sheep or cotton in the plants, again, extracting that is obviously going to damage the landscape. Even though it's a farm, you can talk about the reduction of the amount of carbon that's being taken from these plants. State your point and then give your reasons for the point. And more than likely, you should be able to gain marks that way. Just be careful of what you're saying, because it says to make products. One issue I get a lot of is when students write about coal being used for fuel. That's incorrect, because that is not, we don't use coal to make products. We use it to burn. That is true. It is an energy source. It's not really extracting to make a product. I would try and stick to things that make product, like crude oil, metals, timber, cotton for plants, and so on.